Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. Just wanted to share an idea that I've been chewing on for a while. Figure I'll put it out there into the universe a little bit more. Uh, and, if it ever comes to fruition, I can point back to this video and say, see, 6 years ago, I said this would be a thing. So, as I've contemplated kind of a big why, like what would be a real motivating reason to stay in the marketplace and do something, uh, you know, extraordinary. Um, One of the things that came to mind is education, and it's kind of a merging of this recent period of my life where I was way too overly concerned with politics and social issues and these things that were just out of my control. But hardened some, like, I guess, core principle beliefs. Um, some ideologies that I think kind of cemented a little bit in my thinking. Uh, that I've kind of shelved and said, okay, well, I can't really do anything about these, what I perceive as these kind of bigger issues way out there in the ether. I just got to focus on what's right in front of me. I got to focus on growing professionally, providing for my family, things like that. And so I kind of set all of those topics aside, and have been focusing just on trying to be the best professional that I can be. Um, because eventually, if I do that really well over a long, sustained period of time, and am able to gain a little bit of financial freedom, a little bit more space, and acquire a little more resources, then maybe I can turn back and address some of those perceived issues. Um, so I've thought about what would be one of those things that if I get the space, if I get the financial freedom to do so, that I'd love to work on it. And to me, as I dove into all these topics, and education just kept coming up as one of those big things because it feels like it's kind of addressing the root cause. Um, for a society to continue to thrive and be free and have and progress, you need an educated, in a good way, populace, and you need informed citizens and productive citizens and things like that. And one thing that really jumped out at me in the last couple of years, and to a lot of people actually, is just the stranglehold that our governments, at state, local, federal, the stranglehold that they have on on our quote unquote, or on our, I should say, on our schooling system. And so, rather than just kind of complaining and saying, "Oh, okay, I'm going to homeschool or this or that," which I think is that actually is a good option, but rather than just giving up on the idea of any kind of formal education, it occurred to me that's like, well, why not just take over and improve education? Which it doesn't sound like a small task, but and so that was kind of the starting point. Was like, okay, well, what if I were to um, run, at first it was a school, and then just the kind of Grant Cardone thinking was like, well, okay, well, why not maybe a dozen schools? Um, and Another kind of Grant Cardone thing is, well, okay, you don't need to start new businesses. There's plenty of infrastructure. There's plenty of businesses out there. If you're going to start something new, or if you're looking to, yeah, go on a certain path, just buy something that already exists and just improve it. And so then it occurred to me, okay, well, what if I were to buy, say, like a dozen private schools in my area? So let's say in Middle Tennessee, buy a dozen private schools and then improve them. And this morning, as I was stepping into the shower, a name occurred to me, and the name was Freedom Factories. And because I feel like the factory kind of has a little bit of a bad implication where um, uh, people might talk about schools in a way of saying, oh, it's a brainwashing factory or something like that. But it would just be kind of a little bit of a play on the words, but the opposite. And it's a freedom factory where it would promote free thinkers. It would promote principles of freedom and liberty and things like that. So I haven't wrapped my arms fully around the idea, but I just thought I'd share it. So if you if you think that you would like an area or a school in your area, if you would like a freedom factory where you could send your kids to actually learn productive material, to be treated like responsible citizens, and for the staff to have the freedom to educate in the way that they see fit and to stimulate the classes in the best way possible and have the most freedom over their education process, as well as input from the parents, right? So where the parents would have a lot of input as well, so that people are being held accountable. If that sounds like an ideal situation to you, let me know. Let me know if you know people that would want to partner on an idea like this. And who knows? Maybe the more I dive into this space, maybe if I explore private schools in this area, I'll discover that maybe people are already doing this. Maybe this is already a thing. But if not, or if not to the degree that I think is good, maybe it's worth rolling up my sleeves or kicking off my shoes and diving into the deep end. So yeah, there's the idea. There's the name, Freedom Factories, to educate, to bring education back. I mean, it just seems like when you look at older, like for instance, I'm thinking of this this little round table that Milton Friedman would do, and it was with like college students, and the vocabulary these people had was like 10 times what me or my generation have. And so it's just and the little bit of self-study that I did, the more I realized that my generation, I think in many ways, or maybe it was just me, maybe it was because I was just a rowdy kid and never paid attention, but it just seemed like we weren't pushed intellectually as hard as maybe we could have been, as early as we could have been. So anyhow, this is a little bit of a divergence from the recent topics, but again, this is the idea where if I'm able to put in the work, grow professionally, and accumulate enough resources to do some good with it, I think my first stop would be creating freedom factories. So anyway, hope you're all well. Hope you're having a productive week, and I'll talk to you soon.